Hi, my name is John Szugyi, and I am so glad that you're with me today to hear this special training on the law of victory. Have you ever thought about what separates the leaders who achieve victory from those who suffer defeat? What does it take to be a winner? It's hard to put a finger on the quality that separates a winner from a loser. Every leadership situation is different, and every crisis has its own challenges. But I think that victorious leaders share an inability to accept defeat. The alternative to winning seems totally unacceptable to them, so they figure out what must be done to achieve victory. And then they go after it with everything at their disposal and with everything that they have. I think this is so keenly illustrated in the news that happened just this week in the sports arena. For those of you that know me, you know that I am a serious, diehard Denver Bronco fan, have been for many, many years. Well, this past weekend, the Denver Broncos lost to the Indianapolis Colts in the divisional level of the playoffs. And it was such a sad defeat. And shortly thereafter, within 24 hours, in fact, John Elway fired the head coach, John Fox. And a lot of people have this question about why did he fire John Fox, who was the coach who has only been here for 4 years, but has led his team to 4 division championships. Unfortunately, they lost in the Super Bowl last year, and then they lost in their very first game of the playoffs this year. And John Elway came up and had a press conference, and during his press conference, in my opinion, he illustrated what seems to be the lack of the law of victory within this organization. And he shared he had a hard time putting his finger on it, but he said last year in the Super Bowl, they lost to a team that was a great team. And my hat's off to the Seattle Seahawks. They played a great game. They're a terrific team. They have a lot to offer. However, he mentioned in his conference, he said the last game that an individual plays or that a team plays in the playoffs should be a game that they go down kicking, biting, fighting for everything that they have to win. Whether it's the last game of the regular season, whether it's the last game or the Super Bowl, or whether it's the last time in their playoffs that Broncos just experienced this past weekend. And he said, I have a hard time putting my finger on it other than describing it as that lack of determination to win. And it's unfortunate because the Broncos were a great team. They have a great quarterback. They have several all-pro players on their team. So they didn't lose because of a lack of talent. I believe that they lost because of a hunger and a lack of desire to win a game at all cost. And it's a very unfortunate thing to see them lose like that. However, I think that this lesson applies to many of us in the business arena and professionally. And so I want to bring this point up. The law of victory, and the great athletes have it. The great successful leaders have it. The great military generals and military leaders have had it. And what it is that losing, the mentality that losing is unacceptable and it's just not an option. Years ago, I was interviewing for an HR position, and I had several interviews with different organizations for the same type of position, and I wasn't able to get that position until when I had an interview, and lo and behold, of all the people that were interviewing me for this position, it was a Raiders fan. And for those of you that know a lot about football and know about sports, understand that the rivalry between the Oakland Raiders and the Denver Broncos has been an extreme and one of the most notable rivalries in football. And when he interviewed me, he brought something out that I wasn't planning to prepare, and he later shared it with me. And he looked at me shortly after the interview and after he made the offer, after I accepted the position, and I believe it was my first day on the position. He said, John, do you know why I hired you? And I looked at him and I said, no, help me out. Why? What was it? What was the clinching factor in determining your decision to bring me on board to be a part of your team? And he said, I recognized in you, because you're a football fan and because you like the Denver Broncos, you do not like to lose. And the person that I'm bringing into this position has to be somebody that is passionate about winning, and that's the reason I selected you. And I enjoyed working with him. It was a great experience in my life, but looking back, I'll never forget those words. It was because he saw a desire in me to win, a competitiveness, a determination that I was not going to lose, that whatever obstacles came my way, I was going to overcome. It was that particular character in my life that this manager saw, and it was the reason why he brought me on board. And it is a key component for every leader. It's termed as the law of victory in John Maxwell's 21 Laws of Leadership. Having this implemented in our life is vital. And I want to encourage you and leave you today with this very truth, that if you will implement the law of victory, it will make you stand out head and shoulders above most leaders, because a leader is one who has the quality of not being willing to lose and will win at whatever it takes, overcome any obstacle, overcome every hurdle that may come his way. But they will go down as a winner. And being a winner is one of the things that is highly respected in most of our successful leaders today. So thank you for joining me today. I'm so glad that you are a part of this webinar, and I want to encourage you to stay tuned and learn about future webinars, and I look forward to speaking into your life at a later date. Thanks again. Have a great day.